Welcome back to another episode of the Scorpio Scriptures podcast. I'm your host, Master J. This is where we talk about astrology, all things Scorpio related, and the expansion of consciousness. Today, we're doing Q&A, part 12. If you've never watched this video or you're new to the channel, we talk about many things, but this video is a compilation of questions from you guys on Instagram at the Scorpio Scriptures, YouTube comments that I find, and I get emails, questions on my store. It's in the description. You can contact me there. Sometimes people ask personal things. So we take all these together. You can ask them. They're all your questions. We take all these together and we combine them. And I get many questions every week. I take the best ones. So I have 7 great questions right now. I apologize. We're on part 12 right now, part 11. Someone asked some really good questions. And it got very personal and it got very in-depth. So I put that on members only. You can hit the join button wherever it is on YouTube, iPhone, Android, Macintosh, Windows XP, Windows PC. We don't judge here. Whatever operating system you use to access this to access this video. Some people watching their Nintendo Switch. Hey, whatever floats your boat. So let's get into this. Yeah, you can watch the other one, part 11 on the members only in the link in the description if you want to access that, and all of our other exclusive videos. Now let's get in. We got 7 really good questions from you guys. Question number 1 from Instagram from Samurai B. Is non-sexual intimacy important to Scorpio men? Of course, you know, if he is evolved Scorpio man, of course. But I would say unevolved Scorpio men, that's usually what they want, just sexual intimacy. And they want to ruin your life and they want to play mind games. They want to mess things up in your mind. They want to mess things up in your head and give you the negative version of Scorpioitis. The thing with sex, right? One of my mentors said this. Even though you can have high compatibility with someone, high sexual compatibility with someone, you can't have sex all the time. You know, you're going to do more things than just have sex with each other, you know. I mean, even if it might be all day, it's not going to be all month or all year. So communication, intimacy is something that is extremely important because really, it is non-sexual intimacy that makes the sexual intimacy much more enjoyable. When you have a true heartfelt connection with someone, especially with Scorpio, right? The people that naturally want to dive deep into your mind, and they want to see things and they want to feel things. They want to understand the deeper level of you at the very core. And you know, a lot of people get hooked on the Scorpio because they make you feel like you're the only one in the world. They have this love and care and devotion that is very unique. Was non-sexual intimacy important to Scorpio man? Yes, it is. It is very important. Honestly, for the evolved Scorpio man, you can't even have sex with someone if you don't have non-sexual intimacy. That's how deep it goes. It goes down to energy. It comes down to vibration. It comes down to meshing together and creating another energy field that is just so crazy. That is just so, another word for it. People call it crunk. People call it the energy is real, palpable, sexual tension. That comes from people getting along, the non-sexual things that you do apart from that. Sex is a very important thing in a relationship, but it's not something you're going to do all the time, so that is sad. Question number 2 by Heidi Bidey. Even though Scorpios never say I love you, you look nice, etc., are they thinking it? So hard to tell. No feedback at all. Well, I get this question a lot. And I talk about this a lot, actually, which is why I'm going to repeat it again. Because it's a fantastic question to hammer in. Scorpios, they don't live in this world. They really don't, and they're very stoic, and they are very tough to draw out their emotions. And they may love you, but they may never tell you. And that is something that the feminine charms can conquer much more than challenging or being upfront with the Scorpio. So if they never say it, you can draw it out of them. You can draw it out of your Scorpio, especially evolved one. Does this look nice on me? Do you like this? Questions are the key. You know, your feminine charms get your Scorpio man to do whatever he wants. That's what I talk about very often, and I like to repeat it because I understand this breed of person very well. Because these problems arise and arise and arise. Now, some detractor, Becky. And Becky may say, why do I have to do this? Why should I have to do this? Oh, Scorpio man, I just have to do everything and do this for them. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Well, if what you're doing isn't working, you have to communicate people in the language that they communicate in. And Scorpios communicate in the realm of self-communication and seeing the green light. That's just how it is. I'm not saying the person who asked this question, I'm saying people in general. If you don't like the way you have to be to talk to a person, then just stop talking to them. If there's a common denominator in your relationship problems, then the relationship problem is probably from you. If you can't put your pride down and go ahead and talk to someone or change the way you communicate, then, well, maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship with this person. Because a relationship takes two people to tango. So I get a lot of questions. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this? You want your Scorpio man, you're asking about him. If you don't want to do it, just fuck off. You know, if you're not willing to put in the work, if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to make a relationship work, why are you entitled to get a change in another person when you want another person to change, but you won't change yourself? Things are the way they are. And if they're frustrating or if they're challenging to you, maybe that's why you want them even more. Or maybe you shouldn't put up with this challenge. Maybe you should go and find someone that's easier to get with. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat at the end of the day. But complaining about things in relationships and all these things, we attract things to us for a reason. So if you're complaining about something you attracted to you and opened up into your life, well, maybe, and just maybe, you should look in the mirror. If you have a history with toxic men or toxic relationships, you know what the common denominator of all those relationships is? You. How you express yourself. We are what we do repeatedly, and we are what we vibrate at. And if you vibrate at the rate of attracting toxic F-boys, unevolved Scorpios, hey, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? This is universal law working. So that's for Heidi, not the roasting part, the other part, you know. It's easy to draw it out. You can draw it out. And it is hard to tell, but it is easy to draw out once you master it. You know, it's just speaking the language of the Scorpio. You just do certain things. Question number 3. It's a long one. What is one thing that Jay does that contributes to success? And is there any hard things that you have learned as an entrepreneur? I love listening to your podcast on astrology, but also admire the devotion and work ethic. It must be hard to make these videos. Also, I think I got Scorpioitis. Thank you so much. What is one thing that Jay contributes to success? There are 2 things that I would say contribute to the success as an entrepreneur, and then the hard things, I'll answer that in the next question. The 2 things that contribute to my success is 1, constantly changing my self-image, working on things, working on healing, working on letting go of old behavior patterns that don't serve me, working on letting go of hatred, cynicism, envy, things that trigger me, learning, rising above the current level of consciousness that I am at, so I can perform better, so I can be a better version of myself, so I can do good work to the world, and I can become a person that I am proud of. And when I look in the mirror, I understand that there are no skeletons in my closet, and I stand in the mirror with a pure heart, and I do good things for good people. So that's one thing that contributes to my success is, I think Bob Proctor said this, one of my favorite teachers, rest in peace. He said, when you hear the truth, you just know it's true, right? And when someone's lying to you, you know it's some BS. So I'm a person that always speaks the truth. And if I lie, it'll be, you know, maybe something for fun, right? For messing with my girlfriend or something, or her mom. But, you know, I stand in the mirror with a pure heart, and I'm always working and aiming to embody the energy that God put in me, which is the divine masculine master born under the sign of the Scorpio. So it's constantly changing self-image, whether it's rewriting beliefs, rewriting unconscious beliefs, healing things of the past, forgiving people, opening up closed chakras, eating certain foods to make my body work better. It's a constant work. And that's one thing. And the other thing that contributes to my success is, I understand this, that Tim Grover, if you guys know who Tim Grover is, he's also a Scorpio. Great man. Fantastic. He's a coach of Michael Jordan. And I believe the coach of Kobe Bryant. He says, winning requires all of you. The good and the bad. And winning is one of the greatest things in the world. Winning is everything. And it demands much more from you than you ever think. And winning wants you. But it requires the good and the bad. So something that attributes to success, especially as an entrepreneur, is that winning requires all of you. If there's someone who wants to make a video, but they're not comfortable with their voice, tough luck. If there's somebody who wants to do something, but they can't be disciplined, tough luck. Very tough luck. You know, winning requires all of you. If you want to do something, if you want to say certain things, you want to learn certain things, you want to teach certain people, but you have a fear of judgment, you have a fear of criticism, you have a fear of anything that will pull you back from achieving your goals and putting yourself out there in the world, tough luck, because you're not going to win by only unleashing half of yourself, by only unleashing the good side. You're not going to win from that. Winning requires all of you. I understand what it means to fail in life. I've understood much of my life has been a failure. Failure is just a stepping stone to success. I went to school to please my family and I ended up quitting that shit because I hated it. And I failed many times. You're gonna fail many times when you bet on yourself. But you find out that you're made of much more than you ever think. And that's what I think contributes to my success, is that I'm very hard on myself. You have to be very hard on yourself. I use this example. Maybe somebody wants to lose weight, but they start their diet and 2 days later it gets hard, and then they break and they start eating cookies or something to cope with the feeling hard. Well, no shit is hard. It's success. Just like gaining weight doesn't come immediately, it comes over time. And if perhaps you gain some weight and now it's getting hard, of course it's hard. It's not easy to do things that are difficult. That's why if you were to lose weight, if you were to get in shape, everybody would applaud you, because we know that takes what? Hard work, devotion, and willpower. So hard things are part of the game, and winning requires the good and the bad of you. You know, you have to embrace those parts of life, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and don't be afraid to just if you want something in life and you have a dream and you have a vision, you have a goal, or you want to be someone, or you don't have the love you want, you don't have the relationship you want, you're not in the situation that you want, you should be hard on yourself. But why don't you have it yet? Have you tried hard? Have you tried? Have you actually tried every single day for a prolonged period of time? I guarantee you, if you try hard, you would get it. But if you're not happy with the way your life is, who's responsible for that at the end of the day? We can all say the reptilians are attacking and the tyrants have done so for so long, and we have all this trauma and we have all these things, which is true. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? And I think that's a hard thing I've learned as an entrepreneur. Your failure and your success is completely up to you. And I want to teach you the secrets of the universe and all these things. How to expand your mind, how to love, how to understand the people that you want. Because if you can't go for the man you want or the woman you want, or if you can't go for the job you want or the life you want, nobody is going to sit there and go, oh, well, better luck next time. You should have tried harder. No, the world doesn't care about that. They care about the people who bet on themselves and have courage in themselves. And those are the people that we admire. Winning is an admirable trait. Never be afraid to win. Never be afraid to go for what you want. Because the people that end up not going for what they want, whether it's in love, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in health or wealth, those are the people that become bitter in their soul. And you know what I think of those people? It's a hard thing I've learned as an entrepreneur. Tough luck. Everybody's dealt with their cards in life. They play with the hand you're dealt with and go for it. Some people have it better, some people have it easier. At the end of the day, when you die, are you gonna look back and go, you know what, I could have done so much, but I didn't even try because I was scared to say something? Who cares? Go and win. Go and live the life you want. Go and love as hard as you want. Stand tall in the face of vagueness, darkness, and ambiguity, and live for your dreams and make your dreams come true, because nobody is ever gonna stop you except you. And if you let other people stop you, you're actually just stopping yourself. I love listening to your podcast on astrology, but also admire that devotion and work ethic. It must be hard to make these videos. Is it hard to make these videos? Yeah, it is. No matter how much you manifest, no matter how much you program yourself, you're not just going to be able to make content every day and never ever get tired of it at times, or never ever not feel like doing it. It is hard to make these videos, but it's harder to go to sleep knowing you could have done more, and knowing that you aren't even trying when you have this goal and you have this vision. So there are two difficulties. I say there's the pain of winning and there's the pain of being a loser. Pick one and go and ride out in life. And if you are someone with intestinal fortitude and gumption and a passion and a zeal for life, I encourage you to pick the pain of winning over the pain of losing. Because I've been telling one of my students this, I've been telling someone that I work with as well. It takes a long time for a failure to become a failure. And it takes quite a long time for success to become a success, to reap the fruits of your labor. Success doesn't come in one day, failure doesn't come in one day, but it's what you consistently focus on, it's what you consistently do that makes you become who you are. And this goes for relationships as well. If you're a hard worker, you can apply that to your relationships. You'll see something go up. So build yourself up. Love yourself. Go hard. Give it all you got in life. And life will give all it's got back to you. But if you're holding back, don't expect to get everything that you wanted. And she got Scorpioitis. Congratulations on Scorpioitis. You are officially part of the club. Was that question number 3? I think it was question number 3. Question number 4. Jay, why don't you do tarot readings? Is there a reason why? I believe some tarot readings can, when they're like so general, I think tarot readings can really end up confusing people. Because I know you guys, or not you guys, I know people don't watch just one tarot reading. They'll watch like 10 tarot readings, binge watch it, and every tarot reading may say something a little different, and they're trying to connect the dots, right, on what the tarot reading is actually saying. I don't like to do tarot readings. I like to do tarot readings are more of a general thing, unless it's a private reading, right? But not like those big readings. If I were to do a reading on someone, I would have them just sit down and tell me what's going on, and I'll break it down with my laser Scorpio vision accuracy and then do it, you know. I guess tarot readings can be somewhat vague when it's broadcasted to a large audience. I like to stick with things that are more definite and precise, because my name is very important to me. The work that I do behind my name, the clients that I work with in person and online, we do some very heavy stuff. And I want a result for my clients, and I want their life to change. I want them to be very, 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 very improved and very, 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 very progressed in working with me. I take that very seriously. So a reading is a possibility of it taking someone in the wrong direction or a vague direction, and I don't want to be the propagator of confusion. I want to be the propagator of results. I want to be someone who changes someone's life because I work with them, and I never ever want to confuse them. You know, there's one thing I take very seriously in my work, because if people give me money, which people give me money all the time, that's when my name is online, and I can't have bad things attached to my name or vagueness attached to my name. But yeah, email coaching clients, one-to-one consults, questions, in-person healing, mentorship, all these things. I get pissed if people don't get results from working with me, because they give me money, and I understand how important money is for them. So that's why I don't do readings. I also don't know how to use a tarot deck anyway, so. Number 5. Shinya Nalis says, is it true when a Scorpio man tests you, he likes you more each time you pass his test? Yeah, man, we're checking those boxes. We're checking those boxes in. We're checking those boxes out. And it's just seeing, you know, how far will this person go? And I understand this could be hellish or annoying, but it depends, right? If you're a devolved Scorpio, and if you are focused in your life, and if you have these things, you have these boundaries that you have set up for yourself, there are things that people must prove to be in your life, right? And the more someone proves and the more someone puts in the effort, we go, yeah, this is what's up. This person deserves to be here. Because it's not just a Scorpio thing. It's boundaries. If you have a strong life, or you have a strong company, you build your life up from the ground up, and you do some great things, and you've been hurt in the past for letting people in too easily, yeah, you want to be a little cautious about who you let in your life. And the more people prove that I want to be here, I want to be with you, I want to enjoy life with you, I want to be here, I make an effort to be here, you know, those are the people you like more, right? When people just put zero effort and they just don't try and they just bring you negative energy, nobody wants to be around a person like that. That's annoying, man. Question number 6 from Tara. Why do I always get uncomfortable and bad vibes from someone that seems so sweet to everybody else? Excuse me, I'm gonna drink some water. So this is someone who's been asking me these questions on her spiritual journey and evolving, so I understand what's going on here. Ascending higher levels of consciousness. When you are ascending to a high level of consciousness, you can start to see people for who they are, their energy. And I know this is like said a lot, you might hear it a lot, it might sound cliche. We're all energy, we're all frequencies, we're all blah blah blah. But at a deeper level, we are all centers of operation, divine centers of operation in the universe, and we're all a source of ever-flowing energy that is manipulated and changed by the thoughts and things that we do and embody. So someone who is constantly doing bad and thinking bad and negative of other people, even people that are two-faced, someone that is spiritually evolved can read it right away. Comment below, are you spiritually evolved, listener? Do you know when somebody is full of BS? Because if you do, and you are very, very, very sensitive to energy, and that's actually an advantage in life, because you can tell what's up with people. You can tell when they actually hate you, when they're pretending to be nice. And you know what? That's a negative vibe, negative energy that you don't want around you. So why does she always get uncomfortable and bad vibes from someone that seems so sweet to everybody else? They're actually probably not very sweet. They're actually just a damn good actor, and they've finally been caught, because you can never hide your true self. Maybe with people who are less aware, or maybe those people know as well. But the things that you do in the dark always comes to light. So if you have some spite, if you have some hate, if you have anything, a man or a woman can never hide who they are. They can only do it for so long. And once someone with a high energy level or high reading, emotional intelligence reading level comes along, oh, you got it. So if you get uncomfortable around this person, bet damn right that it's your gut telling you, look, something not right about this person. Because that's your intuition speaking to you, and your intuition is never, ever going to steer you in the wrong direction. Let's see, question number 7 from Hawk Bay. My potential Scorpio is flirting still, even though he said he wants someone younger and fitter. Why? Sounds like classic Scorpio test. Oh, two. Excuse me. Before I start rambling in OJ fashion. You know, back in my day, we had the evolved Scorpio and the unevolved Scorpio. No. Even though he said he wants someone younger and fitter. Why? Well, there are two things that pop into my head immediately. One, he is super unevolved, and he just likes your attention. You know, some people just like the attention. They just like talking to people because they are energy drains, energy vampires. You meet a person who can never be alone, always needs to talk to someone, can't sit with their own thoughts, and just messing with people's head. Yeah, those are called energy vampires. Unevolved Scorpio, energy vampire, aka ain't shit as Scorpio. On the other hand, alright, on the bright side, excuse me, what was that? Voice cracked little. That wasn't me, that was my niece. Yeah, so do we have to re-record this now? No, we can keep on going. Ah, shoot. What was the question? That was Becky, not me. That was Becky. Ah, yeah. On the bright side, you know what this could be? It could just be a test, right? You know, and at this point, it might be quite steep of a test. Oh, so yeah, I told her I don't like I only like younger and fitter women, but she still talk to me, so she must really want me if I can't get her away from me like this, even though I already told her. It's kind of the Scorpio defense mechanism, seeing what you would do if you try to brush them away. And Scorpios are confusing like this because sometimes they want one thing, but they don't want another. But what's happening? Fear of vulnerability, fear of something being so real. How would I just push? And many Scorpios, unevolved, or ones that are in the process of evolving, going through trauma and situations, they might not even know that they do this. When someone shows interest to them, they might just push them away because they don't know how to handle it. So these are things you can deal with. That's a very real thing that makes the science so complicated, and why this channel exists in the first place. So for Huck Bay, I hope that can help you give some clarity. And we break down situations on patreon.com/Scorpio Scriptures Select. Now we have the Scorpio Scriptures Healing Clinic, where I break down your real life situation, people that I work with, my clients that I coach, and explain what we did and where they went wrong with the Scorpio man and how we fixed it. And also just breaking down more of the Scorpio psychology. It is a little 18+ inappropriate, so yeah, go ahead, you can bring your situations there in full detail, full contact, and we break those down. So I hope that helps with everything. This has been another great Q&A session. Thanks for all your questions. We'll see you next time.